Hey guys, welcome back to Fred TMK Gaming. My name is Fred. Today we are going to take a look at the FCM 50t French heavy Tier VIII Premium tank. So you don't really see a lot of these vehicles on the battlefield, and I'm not really sure why, because it's not a bad tank. Now some people might think that, oh, it's a French heavy tank, it doesn't have an autoloader, it can't be any good. But I don't think that's the case. Let's just have a look at the stats of this machine. We have 1500 hit points. That's pretty much as average as it gets on Tier VIII, Tier VIII heavy tanks. And especially for a French tank, it's not that bad. Well, it's a pretty big target, so you would guess that it does have a little more health points than other French Tier VIII tanks. For example, the AMX 5100 only has 1400, but it's a little bit smaller, so the tank weighs 54 tons. That's for French tank, pretty heavy. The AMX 5100 again only weighs 50 tons, but if you look here, we have a 1000 horsepower engine, and that's very, very powerful for Tier VIII heavy tank, and it's a heavy tank. If we look up the Löwe weighs 93 tons and only has an 800 horsepower engine. So this machine is very mobile. It has a mobility that some medium tanks wish they had. Seriously, 51 kilometers an hour speed limit. That's not bad either. It can go up to 55, I guess, or maybe even 58, up to 60 going downhill. So it's really, really fast. We have a traverse speed of 40 degrees per second. 40 degrees per second. Let's bring up the Type 62. Also very mobile. Has 54. So, and this is a light tank. If we bring up the VK, has 48. It's really, really, really ridiculous. If we compare to the mouse, has 15. So the FCM 50t almost has the mobility, so the traverse speed of a light tank, and that's really, really, really good. But the armor isn't bad either. We have, especially for a French tank, 120 millimeters from the front, turret and hull, side 80 and rear 80. That's really not bad. That's not bad at all. If we compare it to the, let's take out the Tiger II. We have 150, so a little bit more from the front, but the sides and the rear has the same armor than the sides and the rear on the FCM 50t. So, and German tanks are known for their good side and rear armor. So, maybe not all of them, but many of them are, and so that's really, really good. Especially for French tank, this is very good armor. Of course, if we take a look at the sloping, it's not that well sloped. It has a little bit of sloping, but a Tier VIII, that's not gonna help that much. You can try and do some side scraping, especially if there are Tier VIIs in the enemy team, and they have guns like the 122mm gun of the IS. You can do something like this, and then you can get some bounces here and also here. So yeah, it has very good mobility, average hit points. It's a pretty big target, but it does have pretty good armor actually. So all in all, not a bad tank up to this point. Let's take a look at its gun. After all, the Tier VIII heavy tank needs a decent gun. We have a 90mm DCA 45 gun, rate of fire of 8 rounds a minute. That's not bad at all. If we compare it to the T125, that one only has 6 rounds a minute, so 8 rounds a minute is really not bad. I do have a, whoops, wrong tank. I do have a 98% loader and a gun rammer fitted, and the reload time is about 6.5 seconds. So it doesn't really get any better than that, but that's a pretty fast rate of fire. It's even a little bit faster than like the T44, I think. That one has around 6.8 seconds, 6.7 seconds reload. So yeah, really high rate of fire. Decent penetration, 212 for Tier 8, that's not bad. That's okay, that should be enough for Tier 10, not for Tier 10, but maybe for some Tier 9s, Tier 8 definitely, and everything below. 240 damage, that's pretty average, nothing special really, but not that bad. The accuracy actually isn't bad either, we have 0.36 accuracy. If we bring up the Lurvis gun, that's known for its accuracy, we got 0.33, so 0.36 for a French tank with that kind of rate of fire, that's pretty good accuracy. However, we do have a pretty bad aiming time. So 2.3 seconds aiming time, it's not really a sniper. You can play it as a support tank, but I can't really say I can recommend it. I can't say that it's not recommendable either, but well, you're gonna see in a bit. So, that about the gun. So, the gun isn't bad, the mobility isn't bad, the engine isn't bad, we have a Tier 10 radio, good 400 meter view range, good signal range, quite fast territorial speed, 36 degrees, fast rate of fire, decent armor, so it's an all-round tank, and I really don't understand why there are so few people that actually play this, compared to the Löwe that really has its weaknesses. It really has, and it also has its strength, of course, but it's not. I wouldn't say that the Löwe, for example, and there are hundreds of Löwes in World of Tanks. And I wouldn't say that the Löwe, for example, is so much better than the FCM is. So, really, let's have a look at some crew skills I would recommend. No skills. The general playstyle of this is like a heavy medium tank, really. I would say you could imagine it best as a like a heavy T44 with a little bit less armor, because it has worse sloping, but it has a better gun. So I would treat it as a medium tank, really, kind of comparable to a big less armored but T44 with a better gun. So it's a heavy medium tank, and that's what we should focus on in regards to skills and perks, I think. So, if you haven't watched my previous videos, you probably don't know that I like to go repairs first on my crew. So that's what I would do with the first skill, actually. Or Brothers in Arms, if you like that. I would always take Brothers in Arms as the first skill for everyone, because it's a perk and it comes only in effect after it reaches 100%, and if you take it as second or third skill, it takes very long to get there, and your crew is gonna be, and that skill is gonna be useless until then, so I wouldn't recommend that. But let's go on with others that don't require the whole crew to take that one. Of course, you can always take Mentor, but it's not that necessary. Sixth Sense could be useful because you're a pretty big target, especially for artillery. They could have an eye on you because, again, you're a soft target from above, and yeah, they're gonna do lots of damage on you. So Sixth Sense could be useful. Eagle Eye. To be honest, Eagle Eye can be useful on almost any tank except for artillery, but it's not really needed on any tank either. So it's nice to have, but it's not a must-have. And I think 610s would be more important. Jack of all trades, the same like Eagle Eye. Good on almost every tank, but not really a must-have. And Recon is for scouts, we don't need that, so I would go with repairs first, or Brothers in Arms, and then 610s, and as third skill, maybe Mentor, or Eagle Eye, or Jack of all trades. For the gunner, repairs or Brothers in Arms. Due to the fact that we're going to play this mostly as a medium tank, we can take Snapshot, because it increases accuracy during turret rotation, and the turret is rotating pretty often when you play as a medium tank, so that's always useful. Deadeye is useful, could be a second skill. Armorer, the gun is not really that prone to damage, I think, though not really useful here. And same with designated target. Yeah, that's also for scouts, so I would say I would go with Snapshot and Deadeye. Now, repairs Brothers in Arms for the driver, and we don't need clutch braking, definitely not, because we already do have 40 degrees traverse speed. We don't need another skill for that. The mobility is fine as it is. Preventive maintenance, the vehicle isn't prone to fire, so we don't need that. Smooth ride could be useful, accuracy on the move, because we do have that little setback of the 2.3 seconds aiming time, so smooth ride could be useful. Off-road driving, again, we don't need that, and it's not really a ramming vehicle, so controlled impact is also pretty much useless. So I would go with smooth ride, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Smooth ride, and well, of course you can take clutch braking or off-road driving, but it's not really needed. So repairs, Brothers in Arms, smooth ride, and some of your choice. For the radio operator, repairs, Brothers in Arms, and radio operator skills for heavy tanks are pretty much, I don't want to say useless, but yeah, not mandatory in any way. Maybe extended view range, but we already have 400 meters, so again, that's not good. That's only good for scouts. Signal range, and again signal range, but not really. So I would go with repairs, Brothers in Arms, and maybe view range, but again, it's not really necessary. For the loader, repairs, Brothers in Arms, and well, those loader skills, I would take Adrenaline Rush, because that's the only thing that really gives you an advantage. Safe storage, it's not prone to ammo damage, so again not needed. And in intuition, again, we're not going to change to APCR or heat or HEMU that often, so not really necessary either. So Adrenaline Rush, repairs, Brothers in Arms. So that's that, the crew. Let's take a look at the equipment that's available. I fitted a gun rammer. You don't need this, but I like to be able to fire as fast as possible. So mostly if there's a large caliber tank gun rammer or any tank gun rammer available, I'm going to buy it. Vertical stabilizer could be pretty useful, because again we're going to play like a medium tank, so accuracy during movement and turret rotation is always good. Ventilation is good, definitely. Ventilation is good on almost every tank, so why not? Wet ammo rack, we don't need that. Toolbox could be useful if you don't have repair trained and still want to get your tracks up more quickly. Heavy spall liner, well, could be useful for protection against artillery that's going to fire on you. But I wouldn't take a spall liner instead of a gun rammer or a stabilizer of any kind. So fuel tank durability, we don't need that. Suspension load capacity, don't need that either. 10% aiming speed, enhanced gun laying drive. If you're planning to play this as a support tank, which you can do, we're going to see that in a minute. You can of course fit an enhanced gun laying drive and help with that 2.3 seconds aiming time, but you don't have to. Again, if you are only going to play like a very fast heavy, almost medium tank, you don't really need this. Coated optics, we don't need that. The view range is good as it is, and that is always good for scouts and tank destroyers. We don't need that. So that's what I go for. Gun rammer, stabilizer, ventilation, or where was it? Gun laying drive. So as for consumables, I have my standard consumables fitted. You don't really need anything else. Maybe if you like these premium consumables, but you don't really need any gasoline, because again, it's really fast. It doesn't need any kind of damage of engine boost. So I just fitted my standard consumables: repair kit, first aid kit, and fire extinguisher. Ammo capacity, it's actually pretty good. I have mostly, of course, AP ammunition and some APCR for emergencies, and also some heat shells. Actually, pretty much heat shells. For decapping purposes, because 90mm HE is not going to do any damage that's worth doing to the enemy. So that's that. So yeah, that's that. I think we're going to have a look at some games right now. So this was a Tier VIII match. I'm deciding to go on the right flank. I don't want to go on the 8 line or on the hill, because these are typical grindhouses and I don't have the armor for that. So I'm deciding to go on the right flank and support these mediums, NTDs, and one light tank. I'm going on the far left side here, and I'm trying to encircle the enemy and take them by surprise that way. So I'm using my speed and mobility as if I was a medium tank, and I'm just rolling down the side area over here. Enemy A20 and T44 spotted. Shouldn't be a problem for me and those T69 and what's that? Another medium. So you can see long aiming time. However, accurate shot. So long aiming time, but an accurate gun. Now only the T44 is left on this side. So I'm deciding to just pretty much go in and take him head on. I know that I don't have the armor for that maybe, but I'm risking it, and I'm paying, and with a shot in the ammo rack that I have to fix, of course. So yeah, take out the T44, 6.5 seconds reload time. So now the plan is pretty much to encircle the guys on the 8 line and the others that are still left in the town over here and near the cap. So there's this T43. Put one right into him, use my speed and mobility to get away from him. Again, reload it, 6.5 seconds, put another one into him, retreat, he bounces. My armor's properly angled, and then I set him on fire. And still, even at this angle, no problem to penetrate him and kill him. So I take one from this KV-1S. Unfortunately, now I can't fix my tracks because I already fixed my ammo rack. So yeah, I pretty much have to wait. fixed it, Indian Panzer gets the kill. So, pretty much only a Jagdtiger 8.8 left. So my plan is that I'm just going around him and circle him. Unfortunately, I'm stuck on that hill. Take one from him, bounce on his, I don't know if it was upper or lower plate. Take another one from him. And now I'm around him and just circling him like a medium tank. And circling and surrounding heavies and TDs. And just killing him. So now, the plan is pretty much that we got one TD capping, and that me and that Indian Panzer are going back and trying to save our base and pretend the enemy team from decapping. So there's this Tiger 2. I'm not stopping for him. Yep, there he is. Coming in my direction, aiming at me. No. No, sorry. And just going back to base and trying to decap. Fortunately, there's an enemy medium tank running back to his base and decapping our cap. But back to those guys, firing on the move, bad accuracy on the move, missing, getting into cover. And now there's pretty much only me left, and that Indian Panzer died. So there's that IS coming. He's trying to get the killing blow. I get one into him, angle my armor, and he bounces. Although I think he only has the 122mm IS gun. But still, he bounces, so you can see with the 7 guns and below, there are actually it's actually possible to bounce. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I'm now the only one left, being encircled. There comes that IS-3. I put one into him. He stops. Has a long aiming time with that 122mm gun, but still pens me. Now I'm being killed from behind by that Tiger 2. So yeah, that's pretty much an example how to play, or how the FCM 50t can be played as a medium tank. Let's have a look at how you can play it as a support tank. So again, we have Tier 8 matchmaking, this time on El Haluf, and it's an encounter battle, so I'm not wasting any time sitting around at the spawn and the right flank. I'm going straight down the left flank, and I'm just trying to. I'm not going. My plan is not to go over to the choke point at A2, but to stay at around CD1 and provide support fire in case the enemy team is trying to push at A2, which he probably is going to do, because that's a common thing to do. So what I'm going to do is I'm positioning my tank, and I do it so that the only thing that really shows is my turret and the front plate, but heavily sloped. Like this. To have a chance of bouncing actually, maybe even those Tiger 2 or T-34 shots. So our team split doesn't look too bad, although I think there could be some more tanks on this side instead of camping at GH4. But hey, it's a random battle, so we got an 110 and an IS that's crying for help, going up to the choke point. They're facing a Tiger 2 and a T-34. So I tell him to fall back so I can shoot him, and there's the Tiger 2. He got balls, he's trying to push, or maybe not, just trying to get off a shot. And I'm not going down there because I'm just telling him to fall back so I can support him. And there's the Tiger 2. Shot out, hit him. Quick reload. T-34. Tiger 2 again, shot out. Precise hit. I hit the wall, Tiger fires, hits also the wall. And I fire another shot, hit him. So you can see very precise gun, good rate of fire. Very valuable as a support tank. Tiger 2. I hit him right in the flank, tracked him, and kill him. So, very accurate gun, no misses at all. That one misses unfortunately. And Tiger is getting into cover, and I'm aiming for the cupola. Unfortunately miss again, pull back a little bit. Snow got some help over here, but they're capping. I'm again aiming for the cupola. Hit him. And he's dead. So now there's a T-34 left, but they're capping. And our team is pretty much getting destroyed. So I'm just deciding to go down here and maybe be able to decap. Hopefully. T-34. And now I'm making a mistake. I'm aiming at that front plate instead of the side. And I bounce. That was clearly stupid. Now I'm getting shot from the right side. So apparently they already made it like up to F5 around. So they're already making their way up our mountain, our canyon. Getting hit again. So now I'm just trying to decap, but it's pretty much pointless as most of our team is already dead. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's that ISU. Firing, pretty much panicking, falling back. He puts one right into me. That's pretty much it. And artillery kills me. So yeah, so this wasn't a pretty spectacular or successful game, but still I think it kind of showed the accuracy and the penetration potential of the gun, and you can see that it's pretty much playable as a medium or as a medium support tank. Maybe not as a heavy support tank, but I think as a medium support tank. Accuracy is good enough. So yeah, if you can find a good spot to hide in, that's how you can play it. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this match. So there it is, the FCM 50t French Tier VIII Premium tank. Well, what's the conclusion on this? So, I think it's really a pretty good alternative to the Löwe or the T-34. It's still available in the tech tree. It costs 11,900 gold, and that's pretty much the same as the other Tier VIII heavies cost. If we look up the Löwe, where is it? Here. It costs 12,500 gold, and the T-34 costs 12,000 gold, I think, yes. So it's actually a little bit cheaper, and it has a unique playstyle, plays like a very mobile heavy, almost like a medium, has very good mobility, and such. And so yeah, I think if you like medium tanks and want a French heavy tank to train your crew and farm some money, you can get this. I'm having quite a lot of fun in it, and it's not that painful to play. Not at all. So yeah, that's it. If you like fast heavy tanks, go get one of these. If not, go get a Löwe or a T-34 or an IS-6. That is not slow, but not as fast as the FCM 50t is. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this review. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, please consider it to give it a thumbs up, and maybe even subscribe if you want to see more content in the future. Yeah, thanks for watching again, and see you in the next video.